Good to see everyone this morning. You awake?
Yeah.
Good. So how did it work out with the glasses? Did you have a chance to practice with the Smart Vision glasses? Did it help you focus at all? Are you able now when the teacher talks to put a box around the teacher? And does it help with distractions, not being distracted? And what else do you focus on the box? Andrew?
When I was playing baseball, it helped me know where the ball was.
When you were playing baseball? Cool.
Whenever I
Good.
in floor hockey.
In floor hockey? Great. That's great. Well, good. I'm so glad that that's helped you a lot. Are you getting better grades, you think, in anything?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, in what, Andrew?
In writing.
In writing? Oh, great. Now, how do you focus on when you're writing? On the words specifically or memorizing
The words.
the words?
I
Great.
used to have problems writing them.
Oh, yeah? That's fantastic.
In science, by hearing and like focusing more on the teacher and being able to get my notes down.
Great. Now, was science a harder subject for you before? Yeah? And now you're able to remember more? That's fantastic. Well, I'm really proud of you. That's really great. Well, today we're going to talk about how you learn, how to study, some study tips, and how the Smart Vision method will help you on tests, okay, so that you can get better grades. So learning is understanding, but it's also remembering, because you can understand something but not remember it for when a test comes or you have to write a paper, right? So there's two kinds of memory. There's short-term memory, which then you remember things for just a minute or two, and then there's long-term memory. And to have long-term memory, you need to be able to file the information so that you can recall it later. So that's what's really important. And it will help you, if you file that information, to visualize it. So when you learn, there's different ways to learn. There's visual. So sometimes you remember things by seeing it, like if you're watching TV, or you can recall it, visualize it in your mind. And then some people, it's easier for them to learn by hearing, so auditory. And that's how they remember things, because their hearing is easy for them to remember. And then some people learn by kinesthetics, kinesthetically, which that is a big word that means basically you learn because you experience it. So if you're doing an experiment, let's say in science, you know, you remember it because you're actually doing it and experiencing it. But the best way to learn is if you can hear things like right now you're listening to me, and you're seeing me, visualizing it, and then experiencing it. We're going to do some experiential things too. And last time we talked about dominance, right? Eye dominance. Who was right eye dominant? Someone? And who was left eye dominant? Okay, good. So you have dominance. For instance, you have your right hand or your left hand. Who's right-handed? And you're left-handed? So you're all right-handed? Andrew, you're left-handed? Okay. Well, most people are right-handed, and then a few people are left-handed. So your dominant hand. You have a dominant eye, which we talked about, which you need for the Smart Vision glasses. And then you also have a dominant ear. And also then your brain is divided into two parts. It's the left brain and the right brain. And if you're left brain, you're more dominant, you think logically. And so math and science is easier for you, and you think more logically. If you're right brain, it's more creative and more visual. So usually people who are really good at numbers and details and all that are left brain, and then people who are more creative are more right brain. But the best thing is if you can combine your right and left brain and use both sides. And when you use both sides and visualize, meaning see the pictures, it's much easier for you to learn. So we're going to do a couple little exercises to show you how this works. I'm going to give you, hold up 5 words, and open your book. This is the, maybe you can get a shot of this. So this is the Smart Vision notebook that helps you with studying. We're going to give this to you, and we're going to show you how it works. So open it to the first page, and just in that blank space, I'm going to give you 5 words, and I'm going to hold them up for just a minute, and then I'm going to take them down, and I want you to remember and write down as many of the words as you can remember, okay? Here you go. Okay, who got all 5? Did you? Great. Jessie, you got all 5?
Mm-hmm.
That's great. How did you remember those words?
I read them all, and then I kept repeating them in my head, and I just wrote them down.
Oh, you kept repeating them in your head. Good, that's a great way to remember and learn things. Anyone else get all 5? Did you? How did you remember them? Same. Kept repeating them in your head? Okay, so repetition over and over. Who got 4? Good. Who got 3? 2? Okay, good. You guys did pretty well. And that's how you remember. That's short-term memory. So you keep repeating, you know, and if I ask you 10 minutes from now, you probably won't remember those words at all, right? So I want to just put out 5 objects now and see if you can remember them, okay? Okay. Open your eyes and look at these 5 objects. Okay? All right. Open up your eyes and write down the 5 objects. How many people got 5 of them? Wow. Twice as many of you got 5 of them. How many people got 4? Good. Now, how did you remember what the objects were?
I just kept, I memorized them.
Okay.
I memorized them by putting the objects in a box and then putting them in my head, and then the next item, and then the next item, and classifying them.
Wow, you put them all in a box. That's fantastic. Andrew?
I visualized them in front of me.
You visualized them in front of you. So because you could see them, it was easier for you to remember them, right? That's great, and that's the best way to learn and remember everything. Because, like we said, you can just memorize short-term memory, but to put it in your long-term memory, you want to visualize them. So that's great. Now I'm going to put 5 more words on the board, and when you look at the words, I want you to see a picture, visualize a picture of the item instead of just repeating it over and over, okay? So see a picture of each item, and then you can write them down, okay? Can you see? See a picture of each word. Okay. So how many people got all 5? Good. How many people got 4? Good. How many did you get?
3.
3? Okay. Was it easier for you to remember when you could see it in your mind, a picture of it? Okay. Great. So visualization, focusing and then visualizing is the best way to learn.